Welcome to an Artist Alley interview, yourself and the people watching at home. Could you introduce yourself to the audience and let us know what you do?
Okay. My name is Rachel Cook. I've been in the fandom for around 12 years now. I like to make custom jewelry. I don't know if you can see that.
Totally.
I got a wind blade right here. I also do helm hats, which I will show you my prime.
Alrighty.
So this is Optimus. This is an example of one of my helm hats. I do my commission, so I measure them to your head, so they're custom made. And I also do prints and artwork, which is right behind me. One of my prints that people may have recognized is my wind blade We Can Do It print. Margaret stopped by and she was my very first customer on this print. So.
Fantastic. So you do a lot of different art. You've got like 2D, you've got helms, you've got jewelry.
I do.
So would you say that you're just kind of like a practicing maker? Like you are more into just creating stuff, crafter?
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
I'm a crafter, but actually my background is in animation.
Okay.
So I went to Arts 2. My bachelor's is in that, media arts and animation. So one of the reasons why I'm coming here is also to impress upon Hasbro that I would really be interested in working for them someday. So,
all right. Well, the best way to show someone what you're up to is put out an array of work.
That's right.
So I guess we'll start off with just the 2D side of things. When you're working on 2D art, like the We Can Do It poster being an easy example, you just kind of run with an inspiration and just do you go full out like one go? Just put that stuff together?
Yeah. I tend to get all my pieces done in one sitting, so I tend to work on them. I'm one of those artists that cannot stop. Like once I start something, I'll be sitting there for hours on end to work and complete it. I'm very passionate about Transformers art, so I really want to make it look beautiful and colorful. I like using a lot of color in my artwork. I like to stylize things too.
Yeah.
Like in Knockout, he's got his saw blades in the background and everything like that. So I do a lot of fan work because of my passion for Transformers.
Yeah. And coming from animation, so you've gone to school for animation, you're coming from that end of things. Does it give you a different kind of appreciation for like the media that we take in with this stuff?
Oh, definitely. Because I went to school, I worked with a lot of the programs that they use to put out things like Prime and animated. Like, for example, like My Little Ponies is done with Flash animation, and that's a program that I learned in school too. So it really gives you appreciation when you know just how much work goes into it and it is involved in it. And like, for example, Prime is so fantastically made, and it's amazing what they've done with a TV show.
Yeah.
It's the production involved and the work involved in a show like that. It's intense.
Well, and you notice things like the emotion in the characters' faces. The eye animation in that show really caught me when I was watching the first couple seasons.
Absolutely. Their character animators are amazing. They're like, we like to call the character animators the movie stars of the animation world. They have the jobs that everybody wants, every animator wants, and I'm like, I look at the rigs, not to mention the modelers who have modeled these rigs in animated, the parts, the rigging on them, and the controllers to move all of this is complex.
Yeah.
For example, Predaking. Predaking's a really good example of just how complex that show is.
Yeah.
I remember the concept artist when they told him, I read in the Prime book, when they told him to go crazy, he went crazy, and the animators and the modelers and the riggers saw it, and they went, ah!
So taking that into consideration, like knowing how the animated models, operate in that world, does that translate to some of the helm work you do? Like
it really does.
Putting that stuff together, like bearing in mind where eye lines are going to be, how it's going to move on a neck?
I do a lot of measuring. It is a little technical, but I have gotten to the point where I tend to eye it more.
Yeah.
But it's like working in your XYZ parameters in like a 3D programming. Like you see these guys who do the shapeways. I think it's shapeways.
Yeah, the 3D printed stuff.
Yes, you see them. They model that first in their 3D programs, and then they have it 3D printed. In my mind, when I work on helm hats, it's much the same thing, only it's in a physical aspect.
Yeah.
So it's sculpting. Really, it's this type of sculpting.
And with your helms, like what kind of materials do you use to put that stuff together?
Well, I fuse the foam together with a glue, so they do not come undone. They are made out of craft foam, so I buy craft foam sheets. They're flat. So what I do is I draw my patterns, and I usually build like a pattern first, and then I take that pattern and I use it to make the final hat.
Okay.
So it's a step process, and I also get examples while I'm working on the hat, building my pattern. I'm always looking back and forth at the pictures from different angles, so that way I try to get it as accurate as possible to the character.
So I see, like, really clearly the motivations that lead you to do art in the 2D medium as well as a helm physical medium. So with the jewelry side of what you're putting together, what does that come from? Is that just you like putting that stuff together?
Okay, so I do have a story about that.
Okay.
Well, I used to be a department head at Hobby Lobby. So I had to learn how to make jewelry so I could answer questions for customers. So I no longer work there anymore, but I have taken with me that knowledge.
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, there's not enough merchandise geared out there for women in the Transformers fandom. And I thought to myself, why not? Why not make some jewelry for the girls who come?
It's cool to see something outside of just t-shirts, too.
Yeah.
Like, nothing's wrong with t-shirts, but that's the go-to.
I don't see much jewelry out there. I see necklaces and stuff, but I don't see bracelets or earrings as much as some other stuff that's out there. But I just wanted to really give, some bling and some flair to the girls' side of the fandom.
And do you find have you dabbled in the Etsy marketplace with any of this stuff?
I do actually have an Etsy. It's called the ArtZR, ARTZNR. I've been there for about little short of a year now. I've been doing pretty good on there.
I was going to ask how Etsy is, just for someone who goes in and just doing something.
It's fantastic. I love it. It's very convenient for both the seller and the buyer.
Okay.
They're very reasonable too. If you want to start your own Etsy.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. So is there anything else here that I've missed so far? We've got 2D, we've got helms, we've got jewelry.
Well, I am doing a raffle right now for Windblade. Right here. This is
the full-on.
Yes, the Windblade helm hat. The only other person who has one is Marigrid herself. She's probably walking around with it right now.
So if I want to beat her to Windblade cosplay, get in on this raffle, and maybe I could, while she thinks she's the only one with the head start.
Right, head start.
I didn't even think of that.
This is a very nice pun. I tend to like puns because I costume as Knockout, so.
I can dig it. Well, thanks very much for your time. You've already dropped your Etsy site. Is there any other website folks can check you out on?
artczrachel.com.
Alrighty.
And it's ARTZ.
Z in Canada?
But it's right there.
Alrighty. This is a powerful lock-in, pull-focus shot we're doing here.
But yeah, you guys feel free to visit, and I take commissions on everything. So.
Great. Well, thanks for your time, and have a good time here at Botcon.
Thank you. Have a good one.